Hi, it's Ken Hadrick, Dean of the Pie Academy, and I found some new pie pans this week that I really liked and I want to tell you all about, so don't go away. So these are made by Hocking, a company you've probably heard of, and they don't actually call them pie dishes or pie pans. They call them mini bakers, which is kind of a cute, all-inclusive name. They measure about 6 inches across and about 2.5 inches tall. They say they have a 20-ounce capacity, but I was able to get 4 cups of apples in here. Now I found these at Target and they caught my eye because I get a lot of emails and correspondence from home bakers who tell me there's just 2 of them at home and they don't want to make a full-size pie. So I thought these would be a great option for a scaled-down pie. They even came with this helpful sheet of warnings and instructions, courtesy of the legal department, I'm sure. Let's see, don't use over a flame, good idea. No quick temperature changes, like, hot to cold, that real quick, that sort of thing. And avoid impact with hard objects. That's really good that I read this because I was just wondering a minute ago whether one of these pans would make a good mallet for some masonry projects I'm working on. Anyway, they come 3 to a package, at least these did. And they cost about 15 bucks for the set, which I thought was pretty reasonable. But the real test is in the baking, so I made a couple of pies this weekend. 1 apple with a nice crumb topping, and 1 chicken pot pie. I adore chicken pot pies. And I tell you, I was really impressed with these pans. To make a double crust pie, all I needed was enough dough for your typical single crust. I used about 2/3 of the dough for the bottom. I rolled it about 9.5 inches across, and then I lined the pan with it. This was a little bit tricky because the sides are high and steep, but it worked out just fine. I used the remainder of the dough on top. Now for the apple pie, I shaped and I fluted the edge like I always do, and then I chilled the pie shell for about 15 minutes just to firm it up. Like I said, I ended up using about 4 cups of fruit. I basically just halved a full-size apple pie recipe, which worked out great. By the way, here's a little tip when you're making any size apple pie. Take a thin slice off both ends of the apple before you peel it. It just makes it easier to get the entire skin off. I cut the apples into chunks rather than big slices because little chunks pack together more easily and they make for a more compact filling. Now, whether you're making a big pie or a small, one of my favorite additions to an apple pie is chopped crystallized ginger. I love this stuff. Sometimes I'll eat a piece of it for dessert. I think it really perks up the flavor of the apples, especially if the apples are kind of underwhelming. I covered the pie with crumb topping. Then I baked it at 375 degrees for about 50 minutes. The pan is so tall that it takes about the same amount of time to bake as a full-size pie. Notice a nice browning around the sides. What's interesting is that glass takes a while to heat up. So all the browning you see here happened in about the last 10 to 15 minutes. Almost forgot to mention, these mini bakers come with handy lids. So when you're done serving from them, you can just pop on a lid and away you go. Or maybe just improvise. Anyway, if you've been looking for a way to make smaller pies, look around and see if you can find these. You probably can. I can't imagine they just sell them at Target stores. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here at the Pie Academy real soon.